Today we're going to solve area problems with unknown side lengths. So number one, we're going to solve what is the length of side D. So I see that the square feet is 720, and I know that one side is 9 feet, and I'm trying to figure out what D is. So I'm looking here, and I'm going to try to solve this. And this is kind of like the triangle problems that we were doing yesterday. Okay? So I'm trying to figure out what this other one is. How am I going to set that up? So I'm thinking in my head, I know that the inside, what I'm trying to find out, is 720 square feet. And I want to know what one side is. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to have to divide to figure out what the other side is. And it's going to equal to be D. So that's my equation with my unknown. So now, I can set this up the same way as we were the last few days. So I can put 720 here. I can put 9 here. And then D is going to be right here. So now, I'm trying to figure out what my side D is. So, I can use a 0 as my hero trick, okay? So if I have 720, looks like a big number, I'm dividing it by 9, I can cross out I'm going to forget about the 0 for now. And now I'm thinking, what times 9 equals 72? So I'm thinking back to my math facts. And I know that 8 times 9 equals 72. But I have to remember the 0 over here. So what I'm going to do is all I'm going to do on my answer is I'm just going to add a 0. Okay? 80 times 9 equals 720. So that's how we're going to solve these. So let's try the next one. Okay? How long is side I? Okay? So let's do our equation with our unknown. We're going to start out with 1400. And we know that one side is 2 feet. Okay? And that equals I. Okay? So now, I'm looking at this. I'm going to forget about my zeros right now. I'm trying to think, what is 14 divided by 2? Or what times 2 equals 14? And I know my 2's, so I'm thinking to myself that I know 2 times 7 equals 14. But I have these 2 zeros right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my answer, and I'm going to use the 0 as your hero trick, and I'm just going to add the 2 zeros to the end, so that I know my answer is I equals 700 feet. Okay? Let's try the next one. Okay. So the library has rectangular tables in many sizes. Use the information and complete the chart. So, table A, the area, so I know the whole thing. I know the whole thing is 30. So now I'm going through, and I got to think about my facts. What times 5 equals 30? So in my head, I'm going to count my 5s. I'm going to think 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And so I counted 6 times to get to 30, so that I know the width of this is 6. So I know that that's my answer. Same thing for for letter B. What times 8 equals 24? So I'm thinking, I know my 8's facts, and I know that 3 times 8 equals 24. Okay? Same for my next one. I'm taking 48 divided by 6, or what times 6 equals 48? And I'm thinking in my head, and I know that 8 times 6 equals 48. Okay? All right. Now, I got to think in my head. I don't know hundreds facts, so I'm starting to get a little worried. But don't, because we can use the zeros to hero trick. I have 2 zeros right here, so I can cross those right out. I have 2 zeros right here and cross those right out. Now it looks like an easier problem. I'm thinking in my head, okay, what times 1 equals 4? And I know that's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it's just 4. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, Leslie's new picture frame has a width of 30 centimeters and an area of 21,000 square centimeters. How long is the frame? So what always helps me is drawing a picture. So I'm going to draw a picture down here, okay? So the width is over here, and I know that it's 30. And I know that the area is 2,100. Okay, so now I got to write my equation. And here's my unknown. I'm going to put in L for Leslie. So I'm going to take 2,100 and I'm going to divide it by 30 to equal L for Leslie. Okay? Now I'm thinking, if I look at here, I'm like, that's a lot of zeros. But let's make it a little bit easier. So if I have 2,100, I'm dividing it by 30. I can think, well, what's a factor of these I do see? So I see a 21 and a 3. And in my head, I say, what times 3 equals 21? And when I'm looking, I think that it would be 7. Okay? So, 7. And now I'm thinking, well, how many zeros do I have? So if I look here, I have 1 here and 1 here. How many zeros do I have left over? I have 1. So I go ahead and add it to the end. And so now I know that my answer is 70 centimeters. Okay? Let's try the very last one. Okay? The area of the rectangle is 6,300 square units. One side is 70 units. Draw a diagram and write an equation to show how to find the unknown side length. Okay, so let's draw our diagram. Kind of like how we did before. So I'm going to draw it. Okay. One side is 70. The other one is 6,300. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to take 6,300. 6,300. Okay. All right, let's try that again. 6,300 divided by 70 equals, let's put an A for, okay. So I'm thinking 63 divided by 7. Or what times 7 equals 63? So I'm looking and I'm thinking, and I decide, I think it's 9. So now, but I'm looking at my zeros. What 0 am I going to put? So if I look here, cross one out here, cross one out here, I have 1 0 left over. I'm using the 0 as my hero trick. And so I know that's 90 units.